I understand that finding true friends and being surrounded by people who care isn't always easy. I feel you. It seems like feeling lonely is becoming more common these days. No matter what you're going through, I want you to remember that you are incredible just as you are, and you are loved. Here are some quotes that I hope will motivate you and brighten your day. Find company within yourself, and you'll never spend a day alone. Find love within yourself, and you'll never have a lonely day. Sometimes the worst place you can be is in your own head. There is a tremendous difference between alone and lonely. You could be lonely in a group of people. I like being alone. I like eating by myself. I go home at night and just watch a movie or hang out with my dog. Don't go away. I don't want to be alone. I can't stand being alone. It is better to be alone than in bad company. You are stronger than you know, more capable than you ever dreamed, and you are loved more than you could possibly imagine. Sometimes you need to take a break from everyone and spend time alone to experience, appreciate, and love yourself. There is a certain strength in being alone. Being alone is scary, but not as scary as feeling alone in a relationship. It's okay to walk out of someone's life if you don't feel like you belong in it anymore. The hardest walk is walking alone, but it's also the walk that makes you the strongest. Sometimes it's necessary to go a long distance out of the way in order to come back a short distance correctly. The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. For every challenge encountered, there is opportunity for growth. I restore myself when I'm alone. A career is born in public, talent in privacy. People think being alone makes you lonely, but I don't think that's true. Being surrounded by the wrong people is the loneliest thing in the world. Sometimes you need to be alone, not to be lonely, but to enjoy your free time being yourself. What a lovely surprise to finally discover how unlonely being alone can be. If you are alone, you belong entirely to yourself. I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel all alone. Being alone has a power that very few people can handle. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere, you find yourself. Loneliness is not lack of company. Loneliness is lack of purpose. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. The loneliest moment in someone's life is when they are watching their whole world fall apart, and all they can do is stare blankly. Loneliness is a sign you are in desperate need of yourself. If you learn to really sit with loneliness and embrace it for the gift that it is, an opportunity to get to know you, to learn how strong you really are, to depend on no one but you for your happiness, you will realize that a little loneliness goes a long way in creating a richer, deeper, more vibrant, and colorful you. Keep yourself busy if you want to avoid depression. For me, inactivity is the enemy. To be alone is to be different. To be different is to be alone. Loneliness expresses the pain of being alone, and solitude expresses the glory of being alone. Don't feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Loneliness adds beauty to life. It puts a special burn on sunsets and makes night air smell better. You're not dead, but not alive either. You're just a ghost with a beating heart. Remember, the time you feel lonely is the time you most need to be by yourself. Life's cruelest irony. The best part about being alone is that you really don't have to answer to anybody. You do what you want. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Sometimes solitude is one of the most beautiful things on earth. Loneliness is the human condition. No one is ever going to fill that space. Do not be afraid of spending quality time by yourself. Find meaning or don't find meaning, but steal some time and give it freely and exclusively to your own self. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we are alone. Inside myself is a place where I live all alone, and that's where you renew your springs that never dry up. In order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. Loneliness can be conquered only by those who can bear solitude. A season of loneliness and isolation is when the caterpillar gets its wings. Remember that next time you feel alone. Pray that your loneliness may spur you into finding something to live for, great enough to die for. The strongest man in the world is he who stands most alone. To find peace, sometimes you have to be willing to lose your connection with the people, places, and things that create all the noise in your life. Thanks for watching. I hope your day is going to be great. And remember, you are awesome.